Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
Welcome to What's on Top.
What's on top?
What's on top?
This is a completely new podcast.
Oh yeah, it's our sex positive podcast that we have just now started. Enjoy. It's what happens when you drink too many beers and then try to podcast.
No, welcome to What's on Tap podcast. I am your show host Martin,
and I am Stefan. Flubbing my lines. You only had to say one thing, idiot. Fine. But yeah, today we got two potentially fun beers. So I'm looking forward to jumping into these. How you been, man?
Since last episode? I've since before recording this, I've left a small cold behind, which wasn't COVID.
I know there's so many people that are sick right now. It's kind of insane. Like I have so many projects that are delayed, and so many meetings have been canceled simply because like half the team is out sick.
Yeah. But as I laid sick, a lot of the friends and acquaintances were sick in actual COVID.
Yeah.
And I felt like the only one who just had a regular cold.
Like you just had a cold, and they had like potentially life-threatening issues.
Yeah, but now that everyone is vaccinated in different degrees, they don't really get life-threatening.
Yeah, that's true.
But this show is not for medical advice. If you have COVID, please quarantine. Please stay safe. And let's go back to beer.
All right, so let's jump into what we got today. So I think this is our first time to have this brewery on the show. Excuse me, Hop Butcher for the World. And oh my gosh,
it might be the second time. I have a slight memory of us drinking a Hop Butcher of the World in a summertime setting, you and me.
That's very possible.
But I don't remember.
But this is Normalize the Signal. It's got Mosaic and Sabro hops. It's a double IPA, comes in at 7.5. And the tasting notes, which are in the worst font I can ever imagine, because everything else on this can is pretty easy to read. The tasting notes are written in this Comic Sans almost, really light font, so it makes it very difficult to read. But it says candied citrus, light pine, and vibrant tropical.
Let's see if we can try the vibrant tropical.
All right, let's see here. Yeah, I get some tropical notes. I get a little pininess on there, I guess.
Definitely.
So it's, I guess it's what it says on the can, which is a nice change.
Almost a little melon.
Yeah, I think it's probably coming from the Sabro.
Maybe.
Sabro.
Let's try it.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
That's nice. It's kind of light. It's got a little bit of that, you said, kind of melony flavor to it.
Yeah.
Melonish.
Definitely.
Let's call it juicy.
It is juicy. It's almost, it's really murky.
Oh yeah, it's super haze bomb. This is legitimate definition of a hazy IPA.
At least in the visuals.
I find it pretty drinkable. It's got a bit of a, I don't know, let's see, slightly bitter finish.
Yeah. Which
I really like. It's not just pure sweetness. Which I'm kind of getting over when it comes to double IPAs.
Definitely.
They are getting a little too sugary, it seems like. This has a nice, really pleasant up front. I think the taste and the mouthfeel is just spot on. And the finish is just kind of slightly tropical with a little bit of a bitter edge to it. I'm really appreciating that.
And if you didn't say it, it's 7.5% ABV.
I probably did, but who knows?
And
no way to know that kind of information.
No, no one can see that far back in the past. But that's pretty much what it feels like. Mm-hmm. The mouthfeel is spot on for this kind of beer. I like it.
I do too. I think the problem with double IPAs these days is it kind of feels like you really said everything you can about them. I mean, they're all kind of more or less. I mean, there's a lot of really good ones. There's a lot more really bad ones out there.
Yep.
We tend to try to find the better ones that we can for the show. So we've kind of don't bring on, because you don't really want to. So a lot of times these upstart breweries are trying their best, or they're trying to put out some product for the shops, and you're just kind of like, maybe brewing is not what you guys should be doing.
No.
Because I'm really tired of drinking somewhat okay double IPAs. I would rather, breweries just focus on one thing, get that worked out, and then, try to expand to other styles. But
I totally agree. It used to be more of a thing in the past where every brewery was expected to put out, not every style, but to diversify, to basically prove their brewery qualities. Let's take a brewery that at the time when I'm talking about, Cigar City has definitely had a golden age.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it's over. That's irrelevant. But they were definitely in that category where they had to put out a Belgian wheat beer and a brown ale and a lager and to tick as many styles as possible just because they were a big brewery.
I would actually be thrilled if the breweries would just go back to doing more traditional styles. I would love to have more red ales and brown ales on the shelves. I know they're not exciting styles, but there's a lot of play in those fields still that people just aren't going into anymore.
Yeah, I'm going to try to counter you there, because so many breweries fail to do those traditional styles. They try to over dry hop them or something. There are breweries that specifically target that market. Let them do it well.
Well, I'm just saying that like up and coming breweries could try to enter that marketplace, because there are simpler styles to do, and true, the flaws are a little more evident because when it comes to like say pastry stouts or these kind of super hoppy IPAs, you just dump more flavoring in, and then it kind of covers up the weakness of the beer a lot of times.
But that's why I think new breweries maybe should focus more on, not on the traditionals. They would fail.
No, they got to start somewhere. I think trying to mass produce or something that just covers up your weakness is maybe you shouldn't be brewing to begin with.
But then we'll end up with way fewer breweries. In some cases, that's probably good, because
I'm okay with that these days.
Bad breweries would die out, but I think we would lose some variety. No, not variety. We would lose something. When we go to a pub, we would have fewer new things to try. Maybe no new things to try.
I'm not seeing that as the worst solution in the world.
Fair enough. This beer for me is a 4.
I'm going to give it a 4.25. I think it's super
Nice.
drinkable and really good.
I think it's the melon flavor.
Yeah.
That's lowering it.
All right. So next up we have Evil Twin New York City. Comes in at a 4%. So this is a session beer.
What did you say?
4%.
4, yeah. I thought you said 14.
14% is a session beer.
Yeah.
No, it's 4%. So it's a lower ABV. And it's called the Super Duper Fancy Gourmet Artisanal and Uber Hand Selected Gose Style Ale. And it's a Gose Style Ale with aged hops, gourmet Italian wheat, the cutest coriander seeds, our hand selected vanilla, and Nordic deep sea salt aged on American oak.
So depending on where the commas are,
Yes.
then it's only the Nordic deep sea salt that's aged on barrels.
No, it's deep sea salt. It's Nordic deep sea salt, period, and then aged on American oak.
Fair enough.
And this, that smells.
It smells Gose.
That smells Gose. It smells really fruity.
Definitely fruity. This nice sour quality.
Yeah, it kind of smells a little bit like, even though there's no apricot or stone fruit involved in this, I'm getting kind of those stone fruit essence on the nose.
Definitely.
I guess phenols would be the correct term.
Maybe.
But it shouldn't be there. It should be like vanilla and sea salt and coriander. So it'll be interesting to see what we get from this.
Cheers.
And the aged on oak kind of made me excited about this beer for the most part. That is super duper fancy. A lot of vanilla.
A lot of vanilla. Definitely can feel some spiciness. When I say spiciness, I don't mean chili spice. I mean, so like spices, actual spices.
It's kind of weird. Like, for there to be, I didn't get any vanilla on the nose at all, but it smells definitely much like a light Gose.
Yeah.
But the flavor is pow vanilla.
Maybe too much.
I would say it's almost a little overwhelming in the vanilla flavors.
But there's a lot of flavor for 4%.
Yeah, I'm getting the coriander. I'm getting the sea salt. I'm definitely getting the vanilla. I don't know that the Italian wheat really. I mean, that's probably just the mouthfeel that's providing. But it's very drinkable. I could easily down this can and probably not think twice about it. The vanilla is a little overwhelming at first and kind of obviously even a little off-putting, but once you have another couple of sips, I don't notice it as much.
No. I think I would get bored with this beer if I were to drink all of the can all by myself.
Yeah, this isn't a rebuy for me.
No.
It's a one and done.
Exactly.
So I'm quite happy to have it and to split it. I'll easily drink what we have left in this can because for me it's quite tasty, but it's not one that I would seek out again. Yep, I'm gonna go with a 3.75.
Me too.
Yeah. The vanilla, if it had been a little more vanilla, I probably would have given it like a 3.5 or 3.25 because it's right on the cusp of being a little too much, and I would say it may even be too much for some people. But I'm okay with it.
I think so. I don't feel that much oak. I mean, if you would say bourbon, then maybe I would say maybe the vanilla is tied into it, but I'm not getting.
Yeah, I don't really know what the age on American oak is bringing because it's not like it's maybe they used oak cubes or I don't know old 2x4s or something. I'm not really sure how they aged it on American oak, but I don't know that the oak is really bringing much to the table in this beer. Because I'm not getting anything that signifies some kind of oakiness or like Chardonnay-like quality.
Exactly.
But I do find it tasty. Okay, well that was this episode. Thanks for tuning in. You can find us online at what'sontappodcast.com, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever you can find fine, high quality, the highest of high quality podcasts. Wow. You can find What's on Tap.
Until next time,
keep drinking, you dum dums.
Yeah.